Hello, ladies. It's Kiki Strickland, the matchmaker and dating coach without my earpiece in. Oh, gosh. Okay, it's Kiki Strickland, the matchmaker and dating coach. And I wanted to talk just a little bit about expectations in dating because I know sometimes when you meet someone new, you get excited as ladies and you're like, oh, I met this great guy, and we tend to run ahead and start planning the wedding in our minds and writing his name like children, testing out the last name. But slow your roll, as they say. I want to make sure that you're not running ahead of the man. It's 2022, but I still believe the man should set the pace, set the tone for the relationship. So even though you might have had a wonderful first date with him, you're ready for that second date. You're even thinking all the way ahead of exclusivity and not seeing anybody else. Do not do that. Just wait and see. It's a waiting game. Dating is a lot about waiting, unfortunately. And nobody likes to wait. Nobody likes to wait. Nobody wants to be twiddling their thumbs. And this is what I'm going to tell you about. You should not be twiddling your thumbs as you're waiting. So say you went out on a wonderful date with a great guy. You liked his personality, his energy, his spirit, as we say. You felt good vibes from him and you enjoyed yourself and you want to go out with him again. I still say, don't contact him first. A lot of ladies like to send off that thank you for the wonderful date. I had a great time. Can't wait to see you again. Email, text, or even call them. But no, you still want to wait to see if he's going to contact you first after the date, because he might not have had such a great time. He might not be feeling you. He might not have liked your personality. So wait and see. You want to thank him as the date is ending. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time. Thanks for dinner, or whatever it is he might have provided. But that's it. You do not have to then contact him again and say thank you. You've already said thank you once. Let the next communication come from him, because it may not. If you had a good time, but he really didn't, and you won't know this, you will know it because he won't ask you for another date. So unfortunately, you have to wait to see if you're going to hear from him or if he's going to say anything else. And he will if he's interested. He will if he's had a good time. And he will if he wants to see you again. One of the things that I see with ladies, unfortunately, is that we like somebody, and then two things. First one is either we start bombarding them with all kinds of texts and calls and emails because we like them and we want to let them know that we like them. We can't even stop ourselves from sending him this and sending him that. And oh, he mentioned this, so let me send him this stuff. And we talked about this, so let me send him that. And all of a sudden you've bombarded him with too much contact. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. He won't say this, but this is what he's thinking. He's thinking, oh my gosh, we only went out on one date. And all of a sudden she's like blowing up my DMs, blowing up my texts. Please don't do that. Or the second thing that I see ladies doing is they've really had a great time. They really like the guy. They can't wait to go on another date. They're checking their emails to see, did he email me? They're checking their phone. Did he text me? They're checking their phone. Is he going to call me? A day goes by and they're so disappointed and hurt. Oh my gosh, he didn't say anything to me today. Maybe he doesn't like me as much as I liked him. Should I call him? Should I say something? No, I'm not going to, but I'm so hurt that he didn't even reach out. The next day goes by, looking, waiting, don't see nothing. Okay, now you're getting a little ticked off. Third day goes by, nothing from him. So now you're like, okay, fine, I don't like him if he doesn't like me. And then you might hear from him like the next week, but you're already mad because you didn't hear from him as early as you wanted. You're like, oh no, don't be calling me a whole week later. I don't know what you did last week. Maybe you went out with 3 other girls. No. That's just as bad. You don't want to bombard him with stuff immediately after you went out. You also don't want to get an attitude if you don't hear from him for a little while. Just chill. And this is also why you want to be going out with other people. You don't want to cut anybody off yet, even though you might like guy number one the best. If you still have a few other people in the mix, continue to get to know them, continue to take their calls. The funny thing is the guys that we don't really feel are the ones that are constantly calling and trying to get us to go out again. People usually want what they can't have. So learn from that. You want to treat the ones that you aren't quite feeling the same way as the one that you're feeling, because then you won't be overly attached to him. All right. So if some time does go by and he finally reaches back out, be friendly. Don't be mean or have an attitude or act weird or, quiet. Say, hey, oh yes, that's right. I had a great time with you last week. Sure, how you doing? Okay. If he asks to go out again, say, great, I would like that. Just be, your naturally friendly, outgoing self. Leave the attitude at the door. All right, so let's see. Is there anything else? I already said, let him set the tone, let him set the pace. Don't get impatient. Oh, but you can set a time limit for yourself if needed. So by that, I mean, you're really feeling this guy. You have a couple of other guys that you might go out with here and there. But you know that in your mind, you want guy number one. However, if you really aren't hearing from guy number one regularly, you can set a time in your mind that you're going to move on. So say a whole month goes by and you didn't hear anything. Again, if you suddenly hear from him, don't have an attitude. But if in your mind you've already set 4 weeks is probably as long as I'm going to give this. If I don't hear from him within 4 weeks, then I'm just going to move on. That's fine. But you don't have to tell him that when he calls in 4 weeks. If 4 weeks was your limit and you see his call, it's okay not to answer. I really don't recommend that though. I say give him, if you like him the most, give him as much time as he may need, because you don't know what's going on in his life. He might have some entanglements to get out of. He might have a trip, a work project, you don't know. So why are you rushing? You can be patient. Give him the time that he needs. But again, if you just have to, for your own peace and heart, if you have to set a time, make sure it's enough time. I would give somebody really 3 months to pursue you, to because he might be getting to know others, and that's fine. You should be getting to know others. So don't cut him off too soon just because you didn't hear from him. I would say just wait and see what's going to happen. All right, we get so impatient. If you have feelings of sadness and disappointment when the person doesn't contact you as much as you want, stay occupied. Don't dwell on him or her. If it's a man, don't dwell on them. Like I said, make sure you're still getting out there, going on dates with others or talking to others from online, or at least getting together with your friends for a happy hour out or something out and about. So you're not sitting there waiting to see what this guy is going to do. All right. Hopefully that helps you. I'll be back with more. Kiki Strickland, the Matchmaker and Dating Coach. Happy dating.